A girl who had been suffering from domestic violence at the hands of her father for a long time was about to commit. Suddenly, an emergency broadcast echoes throughout the small town. Startled, she immediately steps outside to see what is happening. Seeing the scene outside, she is left stunned. Her neighbor is being thrown to the ground and brutally beaten by a madman. There is chaos everywhere on the streets. People are running to save their lives. Before she can understand anything, her eyes fall on a woman whose mouth is bleeding and she is staring at her. The very next moment, that woman lunges at her like a mad person. The girl freezes in fear. But at that exact moment, her father pulls her inside the house. He quickly grabs her and tries to hide her in the basement. But then the father feels something strange. He looks toward a distance in panic, and suddenly the same woman breaks the window glass and enters inside. As soon as she comes in, she stares at both of them in anger and attacks them again. The father is forced to confront her. He tries to stop her wildly swinging arms by holding them, but the woman suddenly bites him. Groaning in pain, the man can no longer endure it and picks up a piece of glass lying nearby and attacks her. Even then, the woman does not stop, as if she does not feel any pain at all. Finally, in helplessness, he stabs the glass into her eye. This time the woman becomes completely still. But seeing all this, the girl is completely shattered. She feels that her father has killed someone, and already being afraid of him, she becomes extremely terrified. Without listening to him, she runs out of the house, not knowing that the outside world has now become even more dangerous. Today we are talking about a new zombie film of 2026, This Is Not a Drill. Now the situation outside has become completely uncontrollable. Everywhere, similar mad people are roaming. The girl realizes that something is very wrong and starts running, but an infected person notices her and starts chasing her. Hearing terrifying screams from behind, she runs even faster and tries to hide in a house on the roadside. But the door is already locked. Seeing no other option, she tries to jump over a nearby fence and somehow gets inside. But that infected man keeps banging on the door from outside. Out of fear, the girl hides behind the grass. After some time, she looks through a gap and sees that someone is coming towards them. It is then revealed that this is the house of her high school friend Leg, and his friend Xiaohe is also there who had come to meet him. Seeing the infected continuously banging on the door outside, all three understand that this place is no longer safe and immediately decide to leave. As soon as they reach the street, they see a woman who is stumbling out of a car. It is clearly visible that she met with an accident while trying to escape from something. Since the town is small, her two children, Jenny and Away, turn out to be students of the same school. The situation is not such that formal introductions can be made, so now these 6 people together start running out of the town. But outside the town, the army has already set up a blockade to prevent the virus from spreading. Many people have gathered at the gate trying to get out, but whoever tries to force their way out is shot. Seeing this, everyone understands that staying here is very dangerous, but there is still hope that maybe the situation might change, so they decide to temporarily stay in a nearby empty house. As soon as the woman turns on the light, another person stops her, saying that light can attract the infected. The woman responds that shouting loudly could be even more dangerous. Both arguments make sense, so everyone quietly waits in the darkness. But after some time, sounds start coming from outside the door, and then the sound of glass breaking echoes. Fortunately, they had already planned an escape route, and they jump out from the second-floor window and get out of there. But most of the houses in the city are not safe, and even after escaping, they have nowhere to go. Then Xiaohe comes up with an idea. Their high school could be the safest place. The school is empty, the first floor has strong iron grills, and the entire ground outside is surrounded by a wire fence. With this double protection, the place seems quite safe. Thinking this, they immediately head towards it. But on the way, they encounter a large group of zombies. To save the children, the woman stays behind and sacrifices herself so that the others can escape. However, unfortunately, one of the zombies grabs the girl, but at the right moment, Leg arrives and rescues her. The girl somehow regains her composure and, despite being covered in blood, runs toward the school. Somehow, they manage to cross the wired fence and get inside, escaping the immediate danger for the time being. But as soon as they enter, they hear some sounds coming from the guard room. They realize that even though the school is closed, there must still be a watchman present. They become confused about what to do. Eventually, Xiaohe decides that they should stay there, reasoning that dealing with a single person would be easier than facing the zombie horde outside. Gathering courage, he picks up a weapon and slowly moves toward the guard room. As soon as the watchman turns, Xiaohe attacks him without wasting any time and kills him. Seeing his bravery, the others begin to accept him as their leader. Together, they block the school doors with furniture and cover the windows with posters so that no light escapes outside. Amid all this, the girl quietly sits in a corner, her face clearly showing fear. She tries to call her sister one last time, but the network keeps failing. Because of the blood on her body, she starts to believe that she might also be infected. At that moment, Leg comes to her and explains that infection does not spread merely through blood contact but only through actual injury. Hearing this, the girl calms down slightly and washes the blood off her face. However, deep inside she still fears that she might have been injured during the chaos. This sudden disaster completely removes her thoughts of suicide. When she learns that Jenny has found some clothes, she uses it as an excuse to go to the bathroom and bathe. After carefully checking herself, she feels relieved to find that she only has minor scratches and no serious wounds. Only then does she feel completely at ease. Meanwhile, the others search the entire school and are both surprised and relieved to discover that the water supply is still functioning, and there is enough food to survive for more than a month. This means they can stay there safely and wait for rescue. However, Xiaohe is not entirely convinced. He believes that if this disaster has spread across the world, then help might not arrive even after their supplies run out. Therefore, they decide to keep an eye on radio broadcasts while also observing outside activities so they can anticipate any danger in advance. In this way, a few days pass peacefully. Then one day, a loud explosion and strong vibrations are felt outside. Alarmed, everyone rushes to the door and carefully removes the posters to peek outside. They discover that a petrol pump in the distance has exploded violently, and the flames rising into the sky have attracted all the infected people nearby. Even so, they decide not to take the risk of leaving, as the outside world is completely unknown and dangerous. They choose to remain hidden in their relatively safe environment. One night, while Anna is sleeping, she feels as if someone is touching her. At first, she ignores it as a dream and gets up to wash her face in the corridor. Suddenly, she feels that someone is watching her from behind. She turns around, but no one is there. Only a shadow briefly appears and disappears. Terrified, Anna immediately wakes everyone up. Fearing that it might be an infected person, they begin searching the entire school carefully and silently. During the search, they hear snoring coming from inside a cupboard. Slowly, they open it and find a man sleeping deeply inside, holding a pistol in his hand. They quickly seize the opportunity and take away his weapon. The man wakes up, but until they can determine whether he is a threat or not, they do not return his gun. They give him some food, which he devours hungrily. His behavior appears normal, but he avoids explaining how he managed to get inside the school. This raises suspicion among everyone and also makes it clear that there is a flaw in the school's security. If he could get in, then infected individuals could also enter. Anna becomes even more suspicious. The man introduces himself as Lao Ma and claims that he has just arrived and did not come forward earlier out of fear. However, Anna believes that he was the same person who had touched her earlier, which means he had been hiding there even before they arrived and had been observing them. Although this is only her suspicion, Xiaohe also does not trust him. After eating, Xiaohe takes Lao Ma to the bathroom under the pretense of something else, and secretly inspects him while he is bathing. Meanwhile, Awei agrees with Anna and also finds the man suspicious, whereas Leg and Jenny believe that it is wrong to suspect someone without solid proof. In the middle of this argument, Xiaohe returns looking nervous and reveals that he saw a bite mark on Lao Ma's hand. Hearing this, Leg immediately hands him a gun but still advises him to be absolutely sure, so that an innocent person is not killed. Just then, Lao Ma returns after bathing, and Xiaohe immediately points the gun at him. Leg tells him that if he is innocent, he should prove it by showing his arm. At first, Lao Ma agrees, but then suddenly hesitates after thinking for a moment and tries to run away. Everyone chases him and quickly captures him. When he tries to defend himself, Leg touches his hand and realizes that his body temperature feels normal. He explains that the bodies of infected people gradually become cold, because he had seen the same thing happen to his own family in the beginning. Even then, the others do not trust him. They are not willing to take any risk, even with the slightest doubt. Only Leg believes him, while the rest ask Anna to shoot him. Eventually, they grab him and drag him toward the door. Lao Ma makes one final attempt to explain himself. He reveals that he had another companion with him, and both of them believed the school would be a safe place. However, when they arrived, all the doors and windows were locked. Then they discovered a small entry point in the boiler room through which one person at a time could enter. Lao Ma entered first, but when it was his companion's turn, he was spotted by infected people. Lao Ma managed to pull him inside, but by then he was already injured. He knew he would not survive, and in anger, he bit Lao Ma because he had not let him enter first. In that moment, it became clear how fragile humanity can become in the face of death. Later, Lao Ma killed his companion so that he would not turn into an infected threat. After living in fear for several days without any symptoms appearing, he began to believe that he might not have been infected. He had kept this to himself because he feared people would misunderstand him. However, Xiaohe does not believe a word of it, and insists that he is lying. In anger, he demands that Lao Ma be thrown out. At that point, Lao Ma begins to feel the same desperation his companion must have felt, because going outside means certain death. Driven by helplessness, he suddenly loses control and bites Xiaohe when he comes close. Seeing this, Awei becomes furious and grabs a gun, attempting to kill Lao Ma, but Leg steps in and calms him down. In the end, they decide to throw Lao Ma out so that at least he has a chance to survive. However, this creates a new dilemma. Awei argues that if Lao Ma was thrown out, then Xiaohe should also be sent out, since both are now in the same condition. The others try to reason with him, saying that such a harsh decision is not right. As a precaution, they decide to lock Xiaohe in a separate room for a few days under observation. To make up for her brother's actions, Jenny volunteers to take care of Xiaohe and change his bandages daily. During this time, an idea comes to her mind to prove Lao Ma's innocence. Soon, they go to the boiler room, where they find the same small entry point and a body lying on the ground that has not yet fully transformed into an infected. This confirms that Lao Ma had been telling the truth. Once it is clear that he had not been infected at that time, Leg shares another shocking piece of news. The government has announced a new safe zone over the radio where survivors can seek shelter. The problem is that this location is far away inside the city. Awei believes they should stay where they are because the school is currently safe, but Xiaohe and Jenny argue that they must leave since the supplies in the school will not last forever. The argument starts again. Frustrated by all the conflict, Anna steps out for some fresh air. At that moment, she sees someone lying in the corridor. It is Lao Ma, who has returned because he had nowhere else to go. Seeing him, Anna panics and runs to call the others. When they see his condition, Jenny feels sympathy and steps forward to help him. But this time, Lao Ma is truly infected. Leg notices it first. Blood is spread on the floor, and now there is a bite mark on his other hand as well. He immediately shouts at Jenny to step back, but it is already too late. In the next moment, the fully infected Lao Ma lunges at her and knocks her to the ground. Seeing this, Anna rushes forward to help without thinking. Meanwhile, Awei freezes in fear. When the others tell him to shoot, he cannot gather the courage to go closer and fires from a distance in panic, but it has no effect on Lao Ma. Then Xiaohe quickly grabs the gun, steps forward, and finishes him off. When things settle down, Jenny realizes that she has been hit by the bullet that was fired earlier. Within moments, she dies in Leg's arms. Her death shatters everyone. Awei, overwhelmed with guilt, lashes out at Anna and starts hitting her, blaming her for his sister's death because she had obstructed his view. In reality, it is an attempt to escape from his own mistake. Among all of them, Anna is the most innocent, yet she suffers the most. Broken and devastated, she goes into the corridor and releases her anger and pain. There, she notices a mobile phone lying in the corner, which she had not seen before because there was no network. Even now there is no signal, but she finds a message from her sister. It says that she is safe and asks Anna to come and meet her as soon as possible so that they can leave the city together. However, Leg thinks calmly and concludes that the message must have been sent at the very beginning of the disaster. By now, the situation there could have completely changed. Even so, Anna says that her sister's house lies on the same route that leads to the safe zone, so it would make sense to check it on the way. Eventually, the others agree with her and begin packing their supplies. However, Awei stays hidden in the room and does not come out. Anna goes to check on him, but before she can say anything, he starts apologizing. He admits that it was his weakness that led to his sister's death. Although he appears calm on the outside, he is completely broken from within. After apologizing, he shoots himself and ends his life. Now only 3 people are left in the group. Gathering their courage, they take their supplies and step outside. There is an eerie silence everywhere. When they reach the road, they see that all the infected are lying on the ground. But as soon as they try to move forward, the sound alerts them and the infected begin to rise again. Anna immediately takes out her gun, but realizes that it has no bullets left. With no other option, they start running. While running, they accidentally trigger a car alarm, which draws all the infected toward that direction, allowing them to escape. However, further down the road, there is another crowd of infected. At that moment, Xiaohe decides to enter a nearby house so they can find another way out. But as soon as they open the door, an alarm starts ringing inside. They quickly break it, but by then the noise has already attracted all the infected in the area. Seeing the situation worsening, Xiaohe decides to distract them so the other 2 can escape safely. He tells them to meet at Anna's sister's house, and then runs out in another direction, shouting loudly. All the infected begin chasing him. Anna and Leg continue moving forward without stopping and finally reach her sister's house. They find that all the doors and windows have been sealed with wood. Upon checking, they notice that a window on the 2nd floor is open. Using some wooden planks outside, they climb up and enter the house. Once inside, they split up and start searching. But soon Anna discovers the truth. Her sister has already been infected. As soon as she sees her, her sister attacks her. For Anna, this moment is extremely painful, but to save her own life, she is forced to kill her sister. At this point, the story nearly comes to an end. There is no sign of Xiaohe anywhere. After a few days, Anna and Leg, with no other choice, take a vehicle and set out toward the unknown safe zone mentioned on the radio. The true purpose of this story is not just to show the fear of zombies, but to highlight the real nature of humanity that emerges when people are trapped in confined situations, along with the selfishness that can sometimes be even more dangerous. It also portrays Anna's transformation, where she initially wanted to end her life, but in the end fights with everything she has to survive. The story conveys that no matter how difficult life becomes, choosing to live is the greatest courage and the strongest response against every kind of pain.